Lesson 6, random numbers. We're going to start using the random number block in here to make things a little bit more random, which makes our games and animations more exciting. So we're going to run this. If you run it right now, you can see that this ellipse has a random X location, so it's moving. Each time I run it, it goes to a random place here. So it wants us to change the numbers in here and see what happens. So just change your numbers. If you do 50 to 100, it's just going to go between those little spots right there. And so this is the same one, but it wants you to add in a random number for the ellipse, or for the Y, rather, location of the ellipse as well. So now, each time we run it, it will be anywhere all over the screen. Because before it was just going through this X. Now it's going Y, which means it can go anywhere we want it to on the screen. Here is that face from the last lesson. You can assign a random number to a variable. So we're going to assign a random number to the eye size so that it's different each time we run it. So I'm going to do maybe 2 as my smallest. It still might look a little weird. And then 50 for my biggest. So each time I run, I should get a different number between 2 and 50. That's fun. I like that. So in this one, you have flowers, and we have a petal size, and it's set here. But we want to change it so the flowers have random petal sizes like they do in the image here. Right now, they're set right here for 30. So instead of setting it to 30, we're going to set it. I feel like they're not both. Oh, right here. Okay, so we're going to just we'll do just random. I don't know why you would do that, both of these, but whatever. I'm going to set them randomly between, let's say, 25 and 50, maybe 20 and 50. Let's see what happens. Oh, that one was on 60, so maybe it needs to be bigger. I'll try 75, so 20 and 75. That works. Oh, they're different each time. Okay, practice. This has planets, and in this example, we're going to make the scene more fun. They're just these planets, and it wants you to give them random sizes so they're always changing. You can even randomize their locations. So there's a ton of them in here. To do this, you're just going to be using the random number block. I don't know that I would do... I want to leave their Y's alone, but we could do random X's. I suppose we could do random for all of them. And it says to do random sizes. So to make us be able to mess with the sizes here, we need width and heights for each of these ellipses. And then these random numbers. They're going to get all wonky if I do that. They will not be the same width and height though, which is annoying. I don't know that I want to do it that way. Whatever. It'll be fun. Let's see what happens. Let's do random between 5 and 75. 5 and 75. You could also set a random number, like pick a random number right here for each of these and give them a name if you wanted to do that with variables, which actually would be a good way to do this. So you could say size. And I'm just going to start it at 0 to begin with. But each time we would change size, this is a good way to do this, to a random number between whatever size we wanted it to be. So I'm going to do the 10 and the 75. And then for each of these, we would say size, size, and we'll copy. Now notice how I'm copying. I'm going to click and drag like this, and then Control C. And before the next one here, Control V, and then size, 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 size. Oops, I didn't mean to type in those. Right here, size, 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 size. So now each time I run this, they'll have different random sizes along the line. One of the other things it said that you could do is give it a random location. I would give it maybe just a random Y location, but you could do random X or Y location and have it do this same thing where it was an X and a Y and change that each time. And then positions, this is a debugging. So if we run this, these are not lined up. And you want to make it so that they always stacked on top of each other, but that the stack is randomly positioned. This is challenging. So if we say that the var x position is going to be a random number between 0 and 50, you don't want to use this. You want to use x position and x position. And now no matter where I go, because they're using this variable, it's the same number. So if this gets 100, each of them will be 100. And that's that x location. So it'll be at the same x. This one is fun. You have this little snake. Each time you run it, it goes a little bit different on the Y value. This is the Y, a random between 190 and 210. So it has this little 20 pixel window to make it kind of look like it's moving. And it has a red, orange, and a yellow. You want to do the same thing. You want a green, blue, and a purple that does the same thing. So for each, you're going to need to do a fill. So we need a green and an ellipse. And I'm just going to pull out the ones I need here. I'll put them in their location. So we need a random number between 190 and 210, and then, oops, that should be on the Y, not the X. And this one, if you look at their X positions, this one is 40 to the right, 40 to the right. So I need 180 plus 40, which is 220, and they're just 50 pixels. So if I run this, I should have the green one. And then let's do another with the blue. And I'm going to copy this and paste it and change this to 260 because it needs to be 40 more than this one. There's the blue. And we need purple. And again, I'm just going to copy this and paste it. And it should be 300 because it needs to be 40 more. So now I have this moving. And you can try these different ones. I'm not going to go through each of these. They have some interesting things that you can learn to do to make things a little bit more fun. The arcs are kind of cool because you can make half circles to make things that look like rocks and stuff. So it's a cool lesson.